Greetings to all, and thank you for tuning into my Rockiva podcast. In today's episode, I will be addressing a Q&A about Asia, featuring questions submitted by my friends and fans on my personal Facebook page, Gabriella Gomes Music. The first question comes from Christopher Walters, who asks, how did I first come to learn about Asia? Well, Christopher, Asia has always been a part of my life. My father owned a digital collection of about 18 or so Asia tracks. Songs like Only Time Will Tell, Heat of the Moment, Who Will Stop the Rain, Soul Survivor, The Far Cry, Arena, Don't Cry, My Own Time, I'll Do What I Want, Under the Gun, Free, Days Like These, Long Way From Home, After the War, Go, Wildest Dreams, and a couple of others. I still cherish these songs today. During my early teenage years, my passion for music was reignited after a long dormant phase. At that point in time, I had no exposure to the internet, and I grew up feeling as if I were living in the late 1970s in terms of technology. Once I received my first phone, I began exploring and collecting music from various bands that I liked, with Asia being one of my earliest pursued music catalogues. Each album I acquired left me eager for more of their music sound, and I adored everything they put out. Initially, I had a greater collection of John Wetton's songs with Asia than those by John Payne. However, that balance quickly shifted as I ended up with many tracks from both singers. My enthusiasm for their music grew to the point where I collected all of Asia's albums, all of John Wetton's solo works, and the UK albums as well. When Dukes of the Orient released their debut album, I added it to my music collection a few months after its launch, having only discovered it on July 4th, 2018. Eager for more of John Payne's music, I searched thoroughly and also came across the GPS Window to the Soul album along with his solo project The Passion with Annie Nye, both of which I instantly loved from the first listen. In short, I always knew Asia thanks to my father's digital collection, but my love for their music transcended any words I could find after discovering their catalogue during my early teenage years. Additionally, I must mention that I am the most devoted and enthusiastic Asia fan in my entire family, by far. The next question comes from Andreas Bergenheim. I'm not sure if I've pronounced your surname right, so apologies if I've made a mistake. His question is, what are my top 5 Asia albums? This is a challenging question for me. My admiration for Asia spans from their self-titled debut to their last release, Gravitas. The self-titled Asia album is a beloved classic for many. It is a true musical treasure, marking the inception of Asia, where nearly every track has the potential to be a hit. It is an album that has to be a favorite of every and any Asia fan. Alpha stands out as a remarkable follow-up. In my view, it matches the brilliance of the initial album, with several of my all-time favorite tracks featured. Among my favorite albums of Asia is Aura. Its brilliance has captivated me since the very first listen, leaving me utterly spellbound by its charms. And then Aria was the last album that I discovered by Asia during the early hours of the morning, close to 3 a.m. After obtaining its digital version, I found myself on my room's window ledge, gazing at the stars, listening to the Aria album on repeat through the night. I ended up foregoing sleep entirely, but the experience was invaluable. I was so touched by the music that tears of joy and wonder streamed down my face. It's been one of my favorite albums ever since. The Arena album sparked new dreams in my mind from the first time I listened to it. Every time that I listen to this album, my mind is left in complete awe. Each song carries unique and personal significance, deeply ingrained in my heart and soul. Triple X is another outstanding Asia album, showcasing remarkable qualities from the beginning to the end. I truly enjoy it very much. It's always a pleasure to listen to this album. Like Eye Candy, this album is ear candy. Silent Nation and Omega are two incredible rock albums. Silent Nation presents a profound theme, while Omega radiates vitality and inspiration with its energetic essence. Honestly, I should refrain from going on, or else I just might end up mentioning every Asia album. Choosing favorites is difficult for me, as it often varies between my mood or the day. I believe this to be my most accurate answer. The following question is from Andy Cross. What is my preferred Asia album cover and what is the reason behind it? Much like I can't pick a favorite album from Asia, I also don't have a single favorite album cover. However, there are several artwork designs by Asia that I truly appreciate above the others. Firstly, I would like to mention Alpha. The artwork captivates me with its lush jungle theme, which conveys both an ancient and futuristic feel. The hidden details, such as the panther lurking behind the jungle leaves, showcase the creativity of Roger Dean, who painted everything beautifully. Another cover I adore is Aria. It stands out as one of my all-time favorite album covers across all bands. I'm enchanted by the depiction of the bridge spanning over the water below. The stars in the sky appear to pulsate with life when I gaze at this piece. Even the rocks in the artwork are impressive. Arena features artwork that is both mystical and magical. This design by Rodney Matthews is among my favorites. I appreciate the otherworldly landscape reminiscent of a space age. The winged lion has fascinated me ever since I first encountered it nearly a decade ago. Aura presents an enchanting allure. The landscape, complemented by the iconic Asia pyramid in the background, allows me to immerse myself in the art. This is what I cherish about many of these art designs. They transport my imagination to different worlds. Since childhood, I have let my mind explore the worlds inspired by the album covers I hold dear. They have become a beautiful escape, providing a bit of solace during times when I need to recharge. The debut album and Triple X both boast stunning covers. Each features exquisite dragon designs. I had never encountered such wonderfully designed dragons in artwork until I saw those. The shade of green on the Triple X album is particularly appealing, while the jungle setting is breathtaking. Meanwhile, the dragon on the ocean for the self-titled Asia album tells its own story. The artwork inherently exudes a sense of adventure without requiring any additional context. It is truly brilliant. To wrap up my answer on the Asia artwork, the album covers that I have discussed are my favorites, with Omega and Aqua trailing closely behind. Phoenix takes a spot just below those, while the rest follow after. Annie Cross poses the following question: which 3 songs do I enjoy the most from the Asia Era 1, featuring John Wetton covering the years 1982 to 1990? Additionally, what about Asia Era 2 with John Payne from 1991 to 2006, and the period of the reunion with John Wetton from 2007 to 2014? Even if I aim to select 10 tracks from each Asia phase, it would still be a challenge. Narrowing it down to just one song from each era feels impossible. Nonetheless, I've included this question as I plan to share it with others who are listening to this podcast. So, everyone, take a moment to comment your favorite song from each of the 3 distinct Asia periods mentioned. If that's too difficult, feel free to list 3 of your preferred Asia tracks from each era. Mr. Cross has asked several questions, and here's the next one. What is my favorite band associated with Asia? A spin-off or a project by an Asia band member? This is another challenging question. I'll break my response into 2 parts. My top Asia-related project featuring John Wetton is Icon. Meanwhile, my favorite band associated with Asia by John Payne is Dukes of the Orient, with GPS being a close contender. If GPS were to release another album, those 2 bands would be tied for my affection. Another question by Andy Cross. If I were to combine the album art of an Asia record with a film, which album would I pair with which movie? I think I would opt for Aqua as a cover for Star Wars, with artwork that seems as if it could be well-fitting for the space around the planet Camino. Alternatively, I would select Alpha for an Indiana Jones film. Now, on to Andy Cross's final question. Which track from a different band do I wish could be an Asia song? That one's easy. Fields of Blood and Fever Rising by my band Ghost Jaguar would certainly be remarkable if they were recorded by Asia. But if I had to pick a song from another band, I'd love to hear John Payne perform Days Are Numbers by the Alan Parsons Project or Matter of Survival by Magnum. As for John Wetton, hearing him sing Once You Love Somebody by Journey or Don't Answer Me by the Alan Parsons Project would have been wonderful. My choices lean towards cover versions rather than solely associating those songs with Asia. I would not want to reinvent any of those original tracks, but I believe their covers would make for a delightful musical experience. Well, everyone, it seems we have come to the conclusion of today's podcast. Thank you for listening to the Asia Q&A session. I'm eager to read your feedback and hope you will join me for the next episode here on Rockiva. Cheers to all, and remember to keep rocking.